Welcome back to another episode of Talon Talk. Whatever your listening preference, you can find our feature interviews on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, and of course on UNFOspreys.com. Don't miss our chats with student athletes, coaches, alumni, and Ospreys in the pros. Now, let's get to today's episode. Welcome back to edition number 44 of Talon Talk. Very lucky to have on Tori Murphy at UNF. She was Tori Ahern. Thanks for being on.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Give a quick intro of yourself.
My name is Tori. I'm married to Daniel. We've been married, it will be 8 years in December. And we have 3 babies. We have 2 boys and a girl. Right now their ages are 2, 4, 6. And we live here in Jacksonville in our off season. And Daniel played professional baseball. He was in the big leagues. Right now we're at 12 years. And I pitched at UNF, which I always like to claim I am also an athlete in this family. It is not just Daniel. I represent the Ospreys, and he went to JU.
Yeah, so there's a lot of content there that could be asked about for sure. So when, you grew up in Jupiter, Florida, how'd you end up at UNF?
Softball. Really, I had a couple other offers to go play in different places, but really I took my only visit at UNF, fell in love, and my best friend, Ashley, she's now Ashley Loveland. She was Ashley Parento. She told me about this really cool school near the beach, and I was like, let's do it together. And we were like, sold. So
you had a very good career. Your statistics show that, over 50 wins. How was moving from South Florida to Jacksonville, and how much has Jacksonville changed since then?
A ton. I mean, when we first got here, we lived like literally on the other side of the town center, but there was no town center. So it's just awesome. I really love it up here. I love just the different weather. It's just different in South Florida. So Jacksonville is just my fave.
So how does that work in the household?
I think it had to be 2 years ago. I don't know what it's called, like where they let you in the suite. It's like used to be the pool. I don't know what that building is anymore.
At UNF?
Yeah, UNF. It used to be the swimming pool, and now they have like a pregame basketball thing in there.
It's probably the blue and gray bash at the field house. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was like, listen, I got us the tickets to go here. Like, you need to be neutral. So I refused any JU stuff. And then when I was he got courtside tickets for the Jacksonville basketball game, and I didn't wear any UNF stuff. So we definitely like to poke at each other a lot.
UNF's had a good run the last couple of years in the River City Rumble, so we were proud to say that for sure. Certainly. Mm-hmm. So you played softball at UNF, and you got some of your accolades: freshman of the year, Peach Belt Conference pitcher of the year as well. You did a little coaching after college, is that correct?
Yeah, I actually coached with one of my teammates. She was now Gwen Yates. We coached at ACD. It was like Arlington Country Day in town. Mm-hmm. We coached there for 2 years, and then I was the head coach at Nice with another UNF softball alum. She was Kelly Rutenbar then. And it was fun to dabble.
Talking about that, you have been around major leagues. He's played for the New York Mets, Washington Nationals, Cubs, and the Rockies. Most recently, how was this past year for you guys and the adjustments that you had to make? I'm sure there was a lot of that the public doesn't see about that.
It was crazy. So this year we decided not to travel, and it's the first time we've always gone. And so we were like, what are we going to do? We're going to be stuck out in Denver. We didn't know how the protocols were going to go, to be honest, in the beginning. I mean, nobody knew how this was going to go down. So we stayed back. We made one trip out there in August because to break up. I think when you say like, hey, we're going to be apart for 4 months, it like seems like nothing. And we were definitely naive to realize what the length of time that was and the effects it was going to have on our kids and like just all the above. And even him playing, he's been so used to having a circus around him for, 11 years. And now all of a sudden you're 12, you're kind of back to the solo in his hotel room. And he was like, Tori, this is a young man's game to be by yourself all the time like this. I'm just not used to it. So it was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, that's an interesting perspective. For him to be like, well, I feel like I'm back in, my pre-Mets days. I'm in in the minor leagues, and for you guys too, to be a part of that routine. So you go out there, How has it been since then? How has life been for you guys back in Jacksonville?
It's been awesome. He's kind of there's always a like readjustment phase, like we've been kind of, especially this year because we were by ourselves for a while and now dad's back into the picture. But I can say it's awesome. I don't do any kid pickups. I'm like, you got this. He took Noah yesterday to his first Jags game and it was awesome. So he's really adapting well. And we don't know what baseball holds for us. We don't know if we're done or not done.
So how is it, continually having to have a second home throughout, the past decade essentially, to in
Yeah.
Whether it's been New York, Washington.
Yeah, we so this is always our home. So like
Hmm.
everyone's like feels like, is this like your part-time home? But Jacksonville for us is like our home. Like when we're here, we feel home. The other ones, living in New York City was like a dream of mine my whole life. So that was
Sure.
kind of, each place has like a crazy special like, time. Like people are like, what is your favorite? And I'm like, I don't know what my favorite is. I just feel like it was every time was, it was just really cool. Like even our time in Chicago was amazing. We rented an amazing like townhome near a park. It was just all different ways to see how everyone lives. It's so different, which was really cool.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you get Big Apple, Second City there, even Washington, D.C. I mean, they're definitely unique cities. What's that?
Probably DC. We bought a home in DC. We recently
Okay.
just sold it, and I'm in denial about it because we had the best neighbors. It was like where my kid made his first best friend. That was probably our only other time where I felt we were really home in DC, like home home.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you're going to collect memories regardless.
Yeah. Mhm.
And so now you get your first, more significant time out west with the Rockies.
Yeah.
And then about a year ago, you started this initiative with the JFO called Prom Series.
Yeah.
Just give, some background about that. And I know we got a nice backdrop for you.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm professional, right?
Mm-hmm. That was a great touch.
So Prom Series is basically our mission is to provide girls in foster care with a brand new prom dress. And we kind of take that idea and blend it with baseball and bring it together. So I just create a dress store at the field, like during a game. And the big league wives and girlfriends are the foster care girls' personal shoppers. So it's creating a connection between amazing women to these foster care girls and providing a chance to really just to love on them, and that's our goal right now. So we did our first event in Denver, and then in 2020 we were supposed to be in 6 stadiums. So I was going to take the idea
Oh,
across.
wow.
Yeah, and we had 6 stadiums lined up, and then obviously COVID
Yeah.
shut that down. And so in August, when I was shopping for my kids to go back to school shopping, I thought, why don't we pivot and get foster care girls back to school outfits? And it kind of exploded like wildfire.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I was reading a little bit about it. I listened to a portion of a previous interview you had done
Yeah,
talking about it. And you mentioned having a vision for more ballparks.
yeah.
Going into this, um, how did this initiatives come about in your mind?
I feel like, I guess if you're going like at the start, I
Hmm.
taught at Arlington Country Day, and there was a lot. Prom is just really expensive. I mean,
Hmm.
dresses are expensive and it's a luxury. And so I did a prom dress drive back in like, this was like, I don't even know, 2006 maybe or something. And it was just so crazy to see these girls just in high school like try on these fun dresses, and we did little photo shoots. And so it's something crazy when you tell a girl they look beautiful and they believe it, like that feeling I'm always chasing. And so uh, it kind of just adapted from there, and I always had these ideas, and I was like, these girls, like big league women, are amazing, and I think they really can invest in foster care girls. And I feel like at one point someone told me like, nobody's going to give you $200 for a dress, and I was like, I think they will. So with that, I just kind of was in a wives charity meeting and threw out this idea and totally lied and told them I had foster care girls set up. I told them I had a dress store. I told them I had everything ready. And I was like, all I need is you guys to say yes. And they were like, okay. And I was like, oh, okay. Like now they like threw out a date. It was April 8th. I'm like, yeah. All I got to do is call them and tell them it's April 8th. They're ready. Everybody's ready. And left the meeting and was like, I don't have anything ready. Like, this is bad. Prayed about it.
Oh,
Was
wow.
like, Jesus, I got 8 days if you want to make this roll. And it did. It really came together and it just was amazing.
So you had them hook, line, and sinker there, but were you nervous at all at that point when you had 8 days to figure this out?
Yeah, for sure. I was sweating the
Hmm.
whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was definitely sweating and definitely and then the first like dress store I called, they were like, there's no way you're gonna be able to figure this out. Like, how are you gonna get sizes? How are you gonna do this? And I was like, I don't know, but I think I will. And I honestly called the next one I called. It was a girl who was linked in foster care, and she was like, this is the best idea. Let's just do it. You
Oh,
give me
wow.
their
Okay.
sizes, I'll bring. So basically, what I did, I had 35 foster care girls come, and they just gave me kind of like their two sizes, right? Like, what are you normally between?
Hmm.
And TPC, a dress store in Denver, I mean, brought so many dresses. Like we were just
So you had
overwhelmed.
more than you needed, probably.
Heck yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool. Like racks and racks and racks. So it looked like a genuine dress store.
Okay.
Super. They're brand new.
So you get all the dresses and you get what you need. Where did you guys set up at Coors Field? What was the setup there?
And suite. So they gave
Okay.
us one of the largest suites. And Jim Kellogg is their like director over there, and he was so
Hmm.
gracious to me. He set up three dressing rooms, like they makeshifted them, and we had 75 tickets. And so we just kind of went for it. We made it like a cool like prom party. We had makeup come, we had nail, hair, like the whole 9 yards came and set up. And then these girls would walk in. The Rockies gave me jerseys with their names on the back, which was
Awesome.
just probably my favorite part. The girls loved their names on the backs of their jerseys. That was like a big deal. And my Rocky wives like took them over. I was just sending them off, and they would just start but shoving them in these dressing rooms, and it was great. It was
So
really
what?
fun.
So was it a whole day experience? So obviously you had the game that day, but was it, you
So
know,
it was just during the game.
just during the game? Okay.
During the game. So we kind of did like the makeup women did like tutorials on how to do it, how to match it to your dress, and then we sent them home
Gotcha.
with their dress, with their goodie bags, and they all wore their jerseys out. And then
So
out of the prom world.
why foster girls in particular? Was there, something there that you had always wanted to reach that group of people?
Yeah, when I was working at ACD, there was these group of kids that I would see, and I thought they were brothers. I didn't know anything else at the time, and I had asked, why they're so close, like they're so linked together, and somebody said, no, they're not brothers. They're foster care kids. They only have each other, and that's why they're so tight. And just then, it kind of sparked my heart, and then a little bit. I love teenage girls. Like, I love teenagers in general. Like, I just think they're witty and funny and like great. And so, just being a high school teacher, I just kind of was always drawn to that time. And I thought to myself, one thing, foster care kids don't get a lot of brand new stuff. And that
Hmm. Yeah.
just think sucks. And so I
Yeah.
was like, you're going to get like, and I don't mean this in that a lot of people are like, well, do you want my old bridesmaid's dress? I'm like, did you want to wear it?
Of course
Did you
not.
want to wear that
Yeah.
dress? Like,
Let's be honest here.
oh,
Yeah.
like I love all my brides, but I didn't want to wear your dress. Like,
Yeah.
like no, I want them to have something brand new. That's like
Hmm.
somebody thought about you because you're worth it and you're great, and we're gonna let you know about it.
So what was the response after that from the girls?
It was great. It was really adorable. I think my wives, honestly, on the Rockies, they were so great. Like they were really invested, and so that was really fun. And there was a couple girls. One of the girls there, her name's Ari. I'll never forget her too. We were talking, and she's like, "Yeah, my boyfriend's a jerk." And I'm like, "Well, why is he still your boyfriend?"
I
And so she wrote me a thank you note
Yeah.
post event and was like, "Hey, I don't have that boyfriend anymore." I'm like, if that's my goal, I will take out one jerk boyfriend at a time. Like I'll do this, keep going through the list. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I remember you telling that little anecdote about her in the interview, and she wrote that PS note at the bottom of the letter, which, that's the type of thing that does stick with you, and I'm sure inspires you to do this.
yeah.
What does the vision look like? I know you shared a little bit about having 6 other ballparks, but, has there been communication with, other teams and other wives for other players on other teams?
Yeah, so right now our six that we're locked in, it was LA. Courtney Turner has always been a big supporter of mine and
Yeah.
like right back. So it's kind of I've been blessed with meeting amazing girls among our career. Like, right, like I can kind of pinpoint
Hmm.
and get to everywhere I want to go now. Like
Yeah.
I can go. And so it was LA, Arizona. I'm gonna blank on you right now because I don't have it in front of me. But and everywhere we played, right? The Mets
Yeah.
are in, DC is in. Like my national girls can show out,
Hmm.
and the Orioles. So the best moment is that the Orioles contacted me and said, hey, we want to do this. Do you want to basically tell us how? So I think next year our vision is probably to double back in those 6 and pull those off really well. And then I think I'll always do the back to school drive close too. Like, I think that was the easiest thing to do because everyone can be involved in that. If I can't host a prom series at your stadium, you can always get to girls. And that feedback, to be honest with you, has been overwhelming because now all these clothes are landing. So the back to school drive, we had a girl from every single team donated an outfit. So I had all 30 in.
Wow.
So I probably had collected over like 550 outfits. And now brands are starting to kind of come to us a little bit, which we are just like fangirling about.
Yeah.
So basically what happened is if you sent in your outfit, then I got the jersey and wrapped your jersey in the outfit. So the foster care girl knows where the outfit came from, that a baseball wife thought about her, and I'm getting specific sizes of these girls. So that's kind of been crazy too.
So how are you managing all these new, things that are coming into the business? What are you doing? Logistics, communications? Yeah.
I have 2 girls on the Mets, and if I did not have them, I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Sure.
Cab, soon to be Conforto, and Michael Waka, they're going to get Sarah's fiance. They are basically my 2 women that I have these crazy ideas, and then Cab's like, okay, like this is how we're going to process this idea. Daniel does that for but he's like, that, how are you going to get that? I'm like, I see the end vision.
Right.
I don't know how I'm going to get there. So logistically, they're kind of handling all the communication side. And then I actually had a former softball player help me with the process of all the clothes.
Very cool. Very cool. I mean, that it pays. I mean, connections that's everything. Pretty much mentioned half the NL West, and then, a couple of the other teams that you guys have made stops at for sure. What's the ultimate goal with this? Do you know, or what's the ultimate plan?
I don't know what my ultimate goal is. I think somebody asked that a while ago. I go, man, if we can get in TED stadiums, I would think that was cool. I think if we can keep going with the back to school outfits, I'll keep being pumped if I can double it or keep going or really get it rolling there. Because to be honest, the back to school outfit thing, I didn't really push it that hard and it kind of exploded. So I thought if we were flying by the seat of our pants with that.
Sure.
Like, we were acting like we had it all together, which we did. We had it at the end, but I was like, I really don't know. I had to rent a U-Haul for the first time in my life. That's how much stuff we physically had. And I was like, I literally had, it's on Beach Boulevard. It's the best UPS store. If you live here in Jacksonville, they were so sweet. We literally took over their entire store every single day with the income, like the stuff that was coming in. They called me after the first day. They're like, is this a normal thing? Because we can't handle this.
Yeah, you're gonna need like your own place.
Right? And so I was like, can you please handle this? It will only be a month. And so they were super gracious. And yeah, it took them all day to like get all the packages out. I was like, here's the 30 places we're going. So it was cool.
So obviously you mentioned having a lot of ideas. Have there been other kind of idea projects along the way that you're like, okay, this is something we're gonna do, it didn't really pan out, that you're willing to share?
I don't know. I have one stewing.
Yeah.
Kind of what we're doing. I have met a lot of great girls in the game, and sometimes I want to give them an outlet to them to kind of do this and to tell what they're thinking, because they are, as much as the men like are amazing on that field, there are some amazing women behind them, and I think some people need to know like what goes on there, because they don't really, nobody really.
Yeah, I mean, so many stories to share about who they are too, let alone, and just communicating that. And depending on obviously what happens in the future, how you guys are involved with the MLB actively, you can still, I'm sure thinking of ways to always have a footprint and use those connections for sure. Any goals with the Prom Series down the road in the community here in Jacksonville or back home in Palm Beach County?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
I held an event here at Foster Closet locally in Jacksonville. Tammy runs Foster Closet, and it's on, I don't know the place, but she basically has like a 10,000 square foot warehouse that when kids enter foster care, they can go there and shop for anything that they need. She has toys, she has shoes galore. And so she actually has a prom little corner. and she may have told me that I can kind of start to take that over. So we actually did hold the same event here locally in Jacksonville. We had 10 girls show up, and I had a local, we did their hair. So we did their hair and their nails, and then it was supposed to just be kind of like a back to school haircut night. And then we saw those dresses, and magically we were like, well, let's play and have fun and try stuff on. And so it was the cutest night ever. So I think I'm going to maybe do another one like that. And my Providence moms, my kids go to Providence. And so they collected all the, toiletries, and we made these little boxes for them, and it was adorable. So we'll see.
Yeah, you guys are branching out. There's a lot of different little pieces here for sure. Definitely keep us in the loop and see how that goes, because it's exciting. Any other things that you want to share specifically about, the Prom Series, or just, your heart behind it, or anything?
No, I think it's something, it's been super passionate in my heart. It's been cool to kind of see it play out. It's been amazing. I'm just super grateful for the opportunity even to kind of keep dreaming about it and keep going. And, I always call Daniel my horse, and he's been running for a while, and now he's like giving me the high five. He's like, all right, you go run. I'm like, okay, do it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, regardless, it's been probably a whirlwind decade for sure, on both sides, undoubtedly. Anything that you want to share about this past year, how you guys have adjusted? I know things are a little bit different with your kids in school now, but just this COVID year, and then, any encouragement that you'd give to foster children right now, or students in general?
I think it's just to I think we're taking this like one day at a time, right? I mean, this is just crazy overwhelming. It's exhausting to kind of doubt yourself. I think we're like still figuring it out. I mean, my son has a birthday party, and I'm like, what do we do for this? Like, how does it work? But I think I'm blanking on you, but one day at a time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's a message no matter what. It's evergreen, right? So that always exists.
For sure.
Anything you want to share about, UNF? Have you seen UNF softball's new bleachers?
Yeah.
You've been over recently? It looks great. Yeah.
Freaking jealous. It's amazing. Yes, it is. I was totally blown away. We actually took pictures there, like right when they got up. I did tell Marcy I stepped over the caution tape to get a picture. But it looks amazing. It really does. I love the UNF softball team. Before this crazy COVID a year ago, I had them over to do a pumpkin carving.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I love them. And so I'm kind of jealous this year. I don't think that's like on the docket. But I love those girls. And I love Marcy. I think she's great. And everybody over there, and Courtney and stuff.
Yeah, Courtney, another pitcher, know her pretty well as well. So pitchers got to stay together. No, for sure.
Yeah, she was unbelievable.
Both you guys, I'm sure could show out, but softball had a great start last year. Hopefully things can go well. I got a couple Power 5 wins for sure. Before we take off, anything you want to leave with, Tori?
No, go swoop it up. We'll love you guys.
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for giving some love for the Navy and Gray today and your divided household. So I appreciate it. Thanks for listening to Talon Talk. Find the complete archive along with feature articles on UNFospreys.com by going to Fans and Talon Talk podcast series under the Multimedia tab.